We're excited about today's special live stream. You'll notice the cats are really active today, so they should provide you some quality entertainment. Give us a wave if you're out there watching. As you've heard me say every day, I want to know which of you out there are students. How many elementary school kids out there do we have? How many high school kids? Let me know where you're watching from, who you represent. I'm on the Hickman shirt still. Let's see how many I can keep going without repeats. Hello to my cupies. Any cupies out there? Give me a thumbs up. Today we are doing Pilates with Elise here, and I'm going to let her basically just have the floor for the day, and she's going to tell you about why she's doing this and why this is important to her. And you guys get to watch Pilates with, look at this, there's catnip all over the floor right now, like a ton of catnip. And I'll also be sprinkling some treats. So hopefully this will be really entertaining. Thanks for joining us, Elise.
Thank you, Mackenzie. Hi, everybody. My name is Elise Mossbacher. And as Mackenzie had mentioned, I'm basically combining two of my favorite things. I couldn't be more happy to be here, Pilates and cats. I feel like I'm in heaven right now. Thank you for joining us. Just a little bit about myself. I live in Columbia. I dance with Missouri Contemporary Ballet. I'm also a Pilates instructor. And a volunteer with Boone County Animal Care, which is the Cat Cafe's partner. So I'll talk a little bit about that. Part of the reason why I wanted to do this is because I'm really passionate about working with Boone County Animal Care, and everything that we do in this cafe has just been awesome and wonderful. We are up to 181 adoptions as of today, which is great. So what we do with Boone County Animal Care, we do a lot of TNR, which is trap, neuter, release, which is my personal favorite. We help a lot of feral cats in the community. I'm very passionate about that. I think a lot of people don't realize that we do have a feral cat issue in Columbia because you don't always see them, but they're out there. So what we try to do is we try to go out and trap them and get them fixed. We use the Spay Neuter Project, shout out to them. They do a lot of work with our cats. They're wonderful in the community. Like most local businesses, unfortunately, are shut down, but feel free to make a donation if you choose. They do a lot of great work, low cost spay neuter. We tend to find a lot of cats that are maybe more social, that maybe don't want to be re-released, and we would that they would maybe be happier in a home. So what's amazing about this cafe when it opened is Boone County Animal Care, we don't have an actual facility. So we are purely volunteer-based, so we only have foster homes. So basically we can only help a certain amount of cats as long as we have foster homes for them to go to. And what this cafe has done is it has given a home to lots of cats that are up for adoption, especially our adult cats. So these are all adult cats here. They're all up for adoption. This gives them a place to play, live. It gives the public and the community an opportunity to come and hang out with them and kind of see what the cafe is all about. So what is a cat cafe? It's exactly what it sounds like. You can come in and enjoy drinking a cup of coffee, studying. We have a lot of students here. You get to just kind of hang out with the cats and play with them. You find that they're very entertaining and you fall in love with them. So anyway, this place is just really dear to my heart, and the work that we do at Boone County Animal Care is really dear to my heart. Our motto is kind of every cat's life matters. And I just really appreciate that. We really, truly strive to help every cat in need. We've had lots of sick, injured cats that we've kind of helped nurse back to health. I won't talk too much, but my foster I have now, his name is JC. I trapped him in Jeff City. He's kind of a good example and represents what BCAC is all about. He was living outside on the streets for at least a year. He was thrown out of a car, so we don't really know his past, but he was dumped and he suffered a really extreme injury. He had nerve damage, internal and external nerve damage, so his tail is dead. And sometimes he has to wear a diaper, so we've been working on that, and he's the sweetest cat in the whole world. So that's just kind of one example of what we do. He's up for adoption. He's wonderful. Those of you that know me, I blast about him all the time on my Facebook page. But anyway, I'll stop talking about cats because I would just talk the whole hour about cats and how much I love them. We'll do some Pilates. So this is going to be a really basic kind of beginning class. I have some friends to help, so we'll see how this goes. We're going to improvise. No, you don't need a cat at home. I've had lots of my buddies ask me that. But if you have one, you can grab one, or you can just imagine that they're here, a dog. Through all these kind of weird, hard times, what's awesome is that We don't have to practice social distancing with our fur babies, so that's something I think we can all be thankful for during these times. Like I said, I'll give one last kind of spiel at the end before I finish, but please feel free to make any donations to Papa's Cat Cafe, Boone County Animal Care, Spay Neuter Project. Don't feel obligated to, but they're just truly wonderful in this community. So, all right, we'll get started. So, we're gonna go ahead and start on all fours. For my regulars, feel free to make things a lot harder. Anybody that's new to this, feel free to modify. We're just gonna have a lot of fun. Normally it's done with a mat. If you don't have a mat at home, you can do it on any type of surface. It's also normally done in bare feet, but because I'm around lots of cats and stuff, I'm gonna keep my socks on for now. So we're gonna start on all fours. So you wanna make sure that your wrists are directly lined up underneath your shoulders, and you wanna try to have your knees directly underneath your hips. And we're gonna start with cat and cow beans. So just take a nice deep inhale, and you're just gonna arch and round your back like the cat, some of them that you see here. Just get a good stretch. And then cow, you're gonna think about really sticking your tailbone out, looking up to the ceiling. And you're just gonna do this a few times. So really just kind of think about this as a stretch. Some of you have probably been cooped up inside, maybe haven't moved a lot. So just kind of feel what's happening in your spine. Try to focus in on your breath. You're doing a great job. And let's do one more of each. And then release. All right, we're gonna come back to that position, but we'll give our wrists a break. So go ahead and line your back. Are you gonna help me? All right, so what I love about Pilates is it's really for anyone and everybody. It's really low impact. It's nice on your joints. You have to kind of use your mind-body connection, so you have to think about what you're doing instead of doing it really, really fast, which sometimes is a huge challenge. So go ahead and line your back. Just bend your knees nice and easy. We're gonna talk about neutral spine really quickly. So if you're just sitting there kind of relaxed, then you take your hands, you kind of place them underneath your back, right above your tailbone. You'll notice that there's a little bit of space. This is what's called your neutral spine, or your kind of comfort level. So as we do these exercises, we're trying to maybe stay in neutral spine. And then if you kind of think about smashing your lower back onto your hands, you might feel it in your abs. That's called imprinted spine. So that's always a safe place to go if you feel like you're having back issues or if something's really challenging. So those are just the two kind of basic placements. So with that being said, we're gonna do a few pelvic tilts. So you wanna picture your stomach kind of as a clock. So you have your 6 o'clock and your 12 o'clock. So all I want you to do, keeping you relaxed in the upper body, is I want you to kind of just tip your pelvis or your hips kind of down and up at your 6 and your 12 o'clock. So you're just kind of moving your pelvis. And the challenge is try not to really let anything else react. So we're just going to do a few of these. Think about maybe your belly button connecting to your spine. You might feel your abs moving. All right, now we're going to stick with neutral spine. We're going to do some roll-ups. So I'm going to scoot back. It's a cat-free mat. So I'm going to extend my legs out long. I'm going to think about squeezing my thighs together like there's magnets. Squeeze my ankle bones together. And we're going to start with our fingertips just over our shoulders. So we're going to take a nice deep inhale through our nose. And as you exhale, try to smash that lower back into the mat. Tuck your chin to your chest, belly button to spine. And you're going to roll it up. And you're going to just keep this nice rounded position here. So what's hard is even though our shoulders are forward, we're going to try to still keep them down. And then you're going to slowly, now feel free to hold on to your thighs, whatever you need to do. Think about one vertebrae in your spine going down on the mat, one at a time. So you're feeling that tension in the abdominals, and then gently resting your head. We're going to do a few more. So here we go. Nice deep inhale. And exhale, roll it up. One vertebrae at a time, scooping the belly. So you want to still feel like your belly button is pulling through your spine. Shoulders back, and then with control, scoop, 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 scoop. Don't lay on a cat, don't lay on a cat, scoop. And release the shoulders down. We're going to do 2 more just like that. So a modification would be to kind of gently bend your knees, grab onto your thighs, do whatever you need to do. This is just for you. Take a nice deep inhale, exhale, round it up, one vertebrae at a time. Feel that scoop in the belly, and then roll it back. Oh, I might have a challenge here. I might have to hold my abdominals for a second. Maybe hold it there. Pretend you have a cat underneath yourself so you can hold and squeeze. You can grab your thighs if you need to. You can bend your legs. Check to make sure the area is clear. We're clear. Oh, and roll down one vertebrae at a time. Good job, you guys. Go ahead and just kind of bend your knees in and just gently rock them side to Yes, roll up 1 vertebrae at a time. Feel that scoop, grab onto the thighs if you need to. Now this time we're gonna sit up tall. So you wanna feel a zipper from your tailbone all the way up to the tip of your head. Reach, 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 but shoulders still down. Inhale at the top. And then exhale, tuck the pelvis, look for cats. Slowly roll it down, 1 vertebrae at a time. Maybe hold, maybe hold, maybe hold, maybe hold. Good, and then release it down. You have a nice pillow. And again, inhale, exhale, roll it up. Feel that scoop, grab your thigh if you need to. Slowly sit up tall. Reach, reach, reach. Feel like somebody attached the strings to the tip of your head. You're going tall, tall, tall. Inhale at the top. Exhale slowly. I'm gonna have an ab challenge here. So let's make this a thing. So I don't sit on any cats. Grab your thighs and just hold. Feel that scoop. Pretend there's a cat behind you and you don't want to smash them. So you're feeling that scoop. You're feeling your belly button, your spine. You're gently grabbing the back of your thighs. Go ahead and release. And let's pulse. Why not? She's still there. Pulse for 10, 9, 8, 7. It feels so good. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. She says that's enough. She moved for me. All right. Good job, you guys. Hopefully your abs are feeling a little bit warm. All right, this next one, we're going to go kind of slow. It's a simple movement, but again, finding that connection to your abdominals. So what's cool about Pilates is it doesn't just work your exterior abdominals, it works the deep inside abdominals or transverse abdominals or what those are called. So, same position with your feet. You're going to gently clasp your hands behind your head. So try not to fully interlock, but just a nice gentle clasp. I always like to tell people when I'm teaching, think about your thumbs kind of resting on your jawline and your elbows back. And you're going to take a nice deep inhale. As you exhale, roll your head, neck, and shoulders off the mat. So we're going to check in with a few things here. We want our elbows back. We want to keep our shoulders away from our ears. And I always say it's like you have a golf ball underneath your chin. So we don't want to be too much pressure on the neck here. We don't want to be releasing back. So just a golf ball. Hi, pretty girl. So we're going to hold here. This is already a challenge. We're breathing. We're trying not to have any tension in our upper body at all. Our belly button is pushing into our spine. So this is like a Pilates crunch, if you will. So now, without dropping the head, again, reach for the thighs or a kitty cat. You're going to pull yourself a little bit higher. Shoulders are still down, so try not to use your shoulders. You're going to stay up. Now try to think that your nose is getting even closer to your knees. You're going to circle your arms out and around without releasing in the back. So stay up, circle, circle, circle. You're going to go up even higher. These should be burning. So take a nice deep inhale here. Exhale, fingertips behind the head. Go even higher. And then slowly control it down. Whew. So we're trying to keep our spine the same. We're going to do that a few more times. So here we go. Fingertips behind the back of the head. Thumbs on the jawline. Hey, pretty girl. Take a deep inhale. Exhale. Push that belly button into the spine. Roll your head, neck, and shoulders up. Feel that scoop. Maybe we're shaking. Go ahead and squeeze the glutes just for some support. Grab onto the thighs. We pull a little bit more. Now notice, my spine's kind of making the letter C. So I'm trying to get a little bit more pressure in my belly. Now my nose is going to get even closer to my knees as I circle my arms. So I'm not going to change my spine. I'm going to pet a cat on the way. I'm going to grab onto my thighs, roll up even more. Now hold this as best as you can. Find those fingertips behind the back of the head. Take an inhale. Exhale, slowly release it down. Woo! One last one. I'm sure you guys are doing great. Here we go. Take a deep inhale. Exhale. Roll it up. Feel those abs on fire. Pet a cat if you have one near you. Take a nice deep inhale. Exhale. Grab the thighs. Pull a little bit more. Good. Circle the arms out and around. Feel that pressure. Feel that tension. Go up a little bit higher. Make this one your best one. Inhale. Fingertips back of the head. Exhale. Release. Good job, you guys. All right. Go ahead and take your arms up to a T. Let's release our spine again. Go ahead and just gently kind of stack your knees, take them to one side. You can reach towards the opposite side. You can look for some kitties and knees back to center. And then you're going to take the knees over to the opposite side, reach to the fingertips. Just try to release any tension in the neck, the lower spine, and then come back up. All right, oh, I have helpers here, good. Okay, we're gonna move into tabletop position. So all that means is your legs are making a 90-degree angle. So my knees are directly over my hips. My toes are directly in front of my knees. And again, if this feels kind of wonky in your spine, I want you to just kind of gently smash that lower back into the mat. We're gonna do some more abdominal work. So fingertips up to the ceiling. Think about pushing your shoulder blades into the mat. And we're gonna tap our toes gently to avoid putting any pressure on a kitty cat below you. So your head's gonna stay down, and we're gonna march. So you should feel this in your core. We're trying to keep everything else stable. Mackenzie's throwing cat treats at me. Marching one toe at a time. Toes are pointed, and again, the hard part is to not let the upper body react. So see if you can kind of smash your shoulder blades into the mat. Now we're gonna up the ante a little bit. Fingertips up. We're gonna roll our head, neck, and shoulders up. Fingertips are reaching towards the opposite wall. Shoulders away from our ears. And we're gonna continue. Now, notice your legs. See if you can keep the one that's not tapping still. That's the hardest part.
That was not intended.
I'm just kidding. That Pilates snack. Good, you guys. We're gonna do 3 more. 2. You're being a great helper. Who is this? And 1. And hug your knees into your chest and release it down. Go ahead and just kind of gently look right and left. Sink the back of your head really heavy into your mat. Enjoy this short break. Maybe pet a fur baby around you. All right, you guys, good job. We're gonna kind of switch back and forth between all fours, and we'll do some, we're not done with abs, don't worry. For those of you that know me, know we're not done with abs. So, all right, we're gonna go back to that all 4 position. I'll face this way this time. We're gonna work on a little bit of balance here. So, again, I have my wrists directly underneath my shoulders, my knees directly underneath my hips. There we go. I'm gonna go like this. All right, so nice and easy. Try to push up and out of the wrist, so try not to sink in the shoulder blades. Try to feel that belly button up into your spine. We're gonna do a little hover to start. So I want you to tuck your toes under and just be careful. And you're gonna try to hover your knees off of your mat or off of the floor, just for a few seconds, and then go ahead and kind of drop them down. We're gonna do this a few times. So what I want you to think about is not letting your back change. So I'm gonna think about really scooping my belly button up into my spine, and I'm gonna try to stay neutral in my back. I'm squeezing, I'm lifting, I'm holding, and then I'm releasing back down. We're gonna do that a few more times. So same thing, push the floor away, hover, squeeze and hold. Try to really push the floor away, and lower back down. We got 1 more. You guys are doing great. Here we go. Inhale, exhale, hold and hover. We're gonna hold for a good 10 seconds. 9, 8. I have lots of judges around me to make sure my form is correct. They'll tell me otherwise. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Good, you guys, I want you to sit back to your heels. We can call this a modified child's pose. Feel free to decompress your wrists if you need to. Good, stretch it out. All right, you guys, we're gonna come back to that same position. Ooh, I have helpers now. This is good because it's gonna force me to use my abs and not let my stomach go, because I have objects underneath me. So if you wanna do the same at home and pretend you have a fur baby underneath so you can't fall. All right, here we go. Oh, he left. Wrists underneath shoulders. So nice and easy. I want you to extend your right leg behind you. I always like to say it's kind of like you're scraping the top part of your foot on the floor, and it's just gonna come at hip height. Ooh, she doesn't like this exercise. So knee is pointing downward, belly button's up into the ceiling. So these reminding me to hold my belly in. My knee is pointed down, and I feel really long, like somebody's pulling on my toe. And maybe this is just where you're gonna hold and try to wrists a little bit. Good. Okay, we're gonna add on to that. So, if your wrists are kind of hurting right now, you can also always do this on your forearms, yeah, with the same kind of intention. So, going a little bit faster, we're going to extend our right leg out behind us, what we just did. Thank you. She's reminding me to keep my belly up. You're good at that jump. Extend your left arm out in front. Now you're gonna make a really narrow X. So I'm gonna gently take my left arm and my right leg out to the side, but not so far that it's causing me to twist. And then I'm gonna bring it back to center. And I'm gonna do it 5 more times. Back to center. I'm gonna pet a cat each time. 4, back to center. 3, oh, she's reminding me to keep my belly up. Back to center. 2, back to center. Last one, back to center. And replace. Good, you guys. Right away, other side. So here we go. Extend whatever leg you didn't. In my instance, left leg, right arm out in front. Hold. And here we go. You're going to make your tiny X. And back to center. Really pulling that core in. 5. Back to center. Long in the neck. 4. And center. 3 more. 3. And center. 2 more. 2. And center. Last one. And center. And relax. Good job, you guys. All right, we're going to give our wrists a break. How did I do? Okay? Thank you for your help. All right, we're going to go back into our backs now. This one should be interesting with the kiddies around. So, we're going to go right away into the Pilates 100, which is one of my favorite exercises. So, there's lots of versions and variations that you can do, yes, with the Pilates 100. So, leg positions. The most simple would be here, kind of how we started in class with your knees bent and your head down. Or you can do legs in tabletop, what we did a little bit after that. Or you can extend your legs. Now don't feel like you have to extend your legs if you're really kind of arching in the back. So your spine is kind of the first most important thing in this exercise. You can keep your head down or you can roll it up. Arms are going to be long in here. So the 100 is basically, we inhale for 5 pumps of the arms, and then we exhale for 5 pumps of the arms. And we go up to 100, which is why it's called the 100. So, I think the cats have not given me a choice for legs. I have to keep my legs up. So I'm going to do that version. But you do whatever version you feel comfortable. Really try to force the air out. All right. No matter what version you're doing, we'll all start with our fingers and toes up to the ceiling. Remember to keep breathing. Take a nice deep inhale. Exhale, roll it up to your 100 position. Watch out for the cats. And here we go. Inhale and out. 10 in and out. 20 in and out. 30 in, keep going. And out. 40 in, good. And out. 50 in, oh, I have to minutes. And out. 60 in. And out. 70 in, we're almost there. And out. 80 in. And out. 90, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Hold it. And rest. You guys did it. Oh, rest your head down. Same thing. Rock your head from side to side. Shake your knees out. Good job, you guys. I had lots of glaring eyes at me, so hopefully they thought my form was okay. All right, shake it out. Let's go on to some bridging now. So, we're going to start with our feet a little bit wider. So think about your feet being about hip distance apart. We're going to lay on our back. Head is nice and heavy. Or you can think about it being like a cat width apart right here. So, shimmy your shoulders away from your ears. When we tend to do bridge stuff, we kind of forget about our upper body. And what I love about Pilates is you're always thinking head to toe. So you're thinking about everything, constantly doing a body scan. So think about shimmying those shoulders away from your ears, or you can think about reaching your fingertips towards your toes. Yes. So you feel that back wide. You feel your collarbone really wide and open towards the ceiling. You know, when you're really sweating, you lay down and you leave like a sweat print with your shoulder blades. That's what I want you to kind of think about. So we're going to go slow. Take a nice deep inhale. As you exhale, going back to what we did with our pelvic tilts, you're going to tuck your tailbone. You're going to slowly, so here's my lower back kind of smashing into the mat. My pelvis is tipped. I'm going to slowly continue to the mat first. So I'm thinking upper back first, but I'm still squeezing my butt. Then lower, middle back, I'm hoping that no cats are underneath me. Then lower back, then finally my tailbone hits. So this is really about the spine. So we're gonna do a few more just like that. A challenge would be to close the legs a little bit more, probably not any closer than a fist distance apart. Make sure all 10 toes are spread out on the floor. We're gonna take a nice deep inhale. We're gonna do just that much again. Exhale, smash that lower back into the mat. Tailbone lifts, lower back, middle back, upper back. Don't forget about collarbone wide, shoulders into the mat. You can use your arms as much as you want. Press the backs of your arms into the mat. Feel your glutes engaged. Inhale at the top. Exhale, slowly roll it down. One vertebrae, you're tickling me at a time. We'll do one more. Take a nice deep inhale. Exhale, feel those abs work. So belly button to spine. Roll it up one vertebrae at a time. All the way up at the top. All the way up at the top. Hold. Now here, oh hello. Now here's a challenge. If you can, extend your arms up to the ceiling. Keep squeezing. So again, I use the term, you want to pretend like you have magnets on the insides of your thighs. So even though they're not touching, you want to keep your knees in line with your toes and your ankles. We're going to hold here. Now I want everybody to walk their heels maybe a little bit closer into their bum if you can. Arms can always be down, so do whatever you need to do. And then slowly roll it down and hug your knees into your chest. Good job, you guys. We're going to do a few more bridge exercises with my friends here. So my legs are going a little bit wider because I have a cat between my feet. So feel free to adjust as you need. So I'm going to take one more nice deep inhale. Exhale, tuck the pelvis. Roll it up one vertebrae at a time. I'm going to hold here. This is one of my favorites. So my hips are trying to stay level towards the ceiling, and all the power is in my glutes and my bum. My arms are either here for support or up to the ceiling. Now I'm going to lift my heels like I'm wearing high heel shoes, or like a cat is attacking them, and then I'm going to lower them down, and then I'm going to continue. Now notice, what I'm trying not to do is go like this, is doing hip thrusts, yeah? So as I lift my heels, my glutes are high, and then as I lower, they're the same height. So it's like if you were, only watching me from the hips up, it would look like I'm just holding my bridge, but I'm really working those connector muscles by lifting my heels up and then lowering them down. And my feet also look like a toy apparently too. So lifting up, good job. Check in with your breath. You'll feel it if you're doing it right. We're gonna do 3 more. 3, 2, and 1. Now I gotta clear, make sure there's no cats underneath. And then I'm gonna lower it down and hug my knees into my chest. Emily, that one was for you because you like that one. That's your favorite. Okay, so we're gonna change gears again. Hopefully our glutes are a little bit active and warm. All right, you guys, so we're gonna come onto our stomachs now. Whenever I don't like to use the term back work a lot in Pilates because we're going to be in our stomachs, but we're really trying to work our glutes and our core more than our spine right now. So I'm gonna go off to the side of my mat. I think this will be a fun one for them. They might crawl on me. So come down to your mat. So arms are down by your side. So you're gonna squeeze your legs together. We're just gonna kind of talk about this position. So what we want to do is kind of just relax everything like we're at home watching TV. So we're going to try to kind of be in an engaged position. So try if you can to glue your ankle bones together. You can always separate your legs if you need to. I'm going to squeeze my bum as hard as I can. And what that does is it kind of supports my lower back. So when I kind of relax in my stomach and my glutes, I have kind of an arch in my spine. That's just kind of naturally how my spine is. So when I think about squeezing my glutes, it flattens out that lower back, and I can kind of feel my abs lifting. So we want to always try to keep our glutes active and our abs active. My head is turned to you guys so you can hear me, but we're going to start with just some very simple spine work. So go ahead and kind of relax your forehead. All I want you to think about is squeezing here, pointing your toes, lifting your belly up to your spine, and then reaching your fingertips towards your feet. So this is an active position. So we're squeezing, we're trying to grow as long as possible, and we're just gonna hold, and then we're gonna release. Good, you guys. called swimming with cats, is this move. And then I'm gonna switch. I'm gonna switch. Now we're gonna go so that the opposite side doesn't touch the mat. Now feel free, the modification would be to keep your head down and go slow, maybe just with your legs or your arms. If you want, you can try the more advanced version. You can go a little bit faster. Let's go for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Good, you guys, decompress your back for a second. Just kind of sit back on your heels. Kind of shimmy your shoulders side to side. Throw a cat toy. Let's go ahead and walk our hands over to the right, kind of stretching out the left side of your body. And then we're going to walk our hands over to the left and do the same thing. All right, we got one more. We're going to do some arm work on our stomach. It sounds kind of silly, but you will feel it. Are you going to help me? Are you going to help me? Are you going to help me? I guess we could use the cats as weights, but we'll spare them. We'll spare them that today. All right, so back to that same position. Yeah, are you going to help? All right, so I'm going to go ahead and just kind of rest on one cheek. You can be here, up, other side, or just kind of forehead heavy. So we're going to find that same position with our body. This is where you really have to kind of think. So glue your ankle bones together, point through your toes, hamstrings engaged, glutes engaged, core is active, and I want you to really see how far you can reach your fingertips towards your knees so that we're not kind of in this position. So ideally, you should have a little bit of space between your shoulders and the mat. Now, this is another one that can be done kind of more easily, but we're going to kind of try the harder route. So I want you to imagine that you have a string attached to your tricep, which is the back of your arm, and that is going to lift to the ceiling. So I'm going to lift my arms. I'm not going to think about lifting my wrists or lifting my elbows. I'm really going to think about lifting from the top part of my arms, and I'm going to equally reach towards my feet. So some of you may already be feeling it here. I'm also trying to keep my arms as close to my body as possible, but without letting the shoulders come up. So again, you have your strings. You're trying to kind of rotate your shoulders out. You're trying to keep that space. You're reaching through the fingertips. You're squeezing your glutes. You're squeezing your core. So many things to think about in Pilates. Now from here, we're squeezing and holding. I want you to try to lift even higher. Your shoulders might rotate a little bit. We're going to pulse. So what's nice is that we don't have weights to use, so we can't kind of let this get into the wrists. It's really the triceps. We're going to push the ceiling away for 10, 9, like you're underwater, so you have resistance. 8, the air is really heavy. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then lower down. Hopefully you guys felt that one. So again, if you really feel like staying long, that's what it's all about. I'm going to switch sides, and then we're going to do one other arm exercise. I'm trying to get the cats involved. All right, so we're going to go back to that same arm position. I call these windshield wipers or butt laughters, but it's whatever term you prefer. If you are on one cheek, maybe go ahead and switch the other so your neck doesn't get a crick. So same thing. Ankle bones glued together. Core is lifted nice and tight. Glutes engaged. Abs are active. So here we go. Shoulders away from the ears. Keep space, so don't let your shoulder touch the mat. Try to really push them away. Now, try to keep your arms as straight as possible. You're going to try to get your thumbs to connect. You're going to walk to your derriere, if you will. For 10, keep squeezing up. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Feels so good, and relax. All right, good job, you guys. Go ahead and kind of gently sit up. Give yourself a break. Shake your arms out. Are you guys getting sleepy from me?
I think a bunch of them went to the bathroom.
I'm gonna have an assistant for this next one because she's so pretty. Hey, pretty girl. All right, we're gonna do some sideline legs. So, if you have a mat, or even if you don't have a mat, try to kind of have an imaginary line behind you. You want your bum to be in line with the back of the mat. We're gonna come down to our elbows. You can always be here too if that's more comfortable. And then you always want your legs to be kind of to the front. So you never want to try to kind of balance in a straight line because that's really hard. So if you're ever feeling like you don't have control in your core, always bring your legs a little bit more to the front. So we're going to start here. Both legs are active. We're going to start with a flexed then just bring it underneath. That was perfect timing, Sylvie. And then she got mad that somebody else was stealing the limelight. And put it back. Now, the more you flex through your heel, the more it's going to keep the back of your legs straight. Excuse me, I think I inhaled some catnip there. So you're swinging it front and back, and it's just a small movement. We're just working on our glutes. Now again, notice we're trying to have very minimal movement everywhere else, which is what makes this challenging. We're going to do one more. This is one of my favorites. This is a small movement. Keep your hips stacked. We're going to tiny pulses up to the ceiling for 10, 9. Your hips probably going to want to roll forward, so keep it back. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And bring it back and lower it down. Maybe give your little butt knee up a little tap. All right, good, you guys. Moving on with that same type of idea. We're going to point our toes. We're going to lift our top leg. We're going to make tiny circles. So I'm going to go to the front for 8, 7. Again, I'm trying to keep everything still. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now we have to reverse the direction of the circle for 8, 7. Knee is pointed straight. My toes are pointed as hard as I can. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Now I'm going to challenge you guys. Don't put your leg down. Hold it up. Flexing your foot. Use the floor for this one if you need. Try to keep your top leg exactly where it is. Your bottom leg is going to meet the top leg. Yes, it is. So we're going to lift and squeeze like we're trying to crush something between our thighs, and then lower it down. Thank you so much. And we're going to lift and squeeze, and then we're going to lower it down. We're going to do it 4 more times and lower it down. You might feel this in your obliques a little bit. Use that floor as much as you need. Lower it down. 2 more. 2. Lower it down. Last one. Hold. Lower it down. And again, calm that puppy down for a second. Good job, you guys. All right, hopefully we're feeling it a little bit more. One last thing on this side, we're going to do clam. So, clam, my knees are squeezing together. My heels are together, and I'm kind of in this inverted position. Now again, I'm not letting my hip roll forward. I'm going to try to keep my hips stacked. I kind of feel like a mermaid in this position. So, I'm going to keep my toes together, open my knees, and I'm going to squeeze and close. Again, this is getting the glutes here. So don't forget, the closing is just as important as the opening. So you're really feeling that skyward. And squeeze. We're going to do 6 more. And squeeze. And 5. Now check back in with that body. Is your core tight? 4. 3 more. 3. 2 more. 2. Last one. And gently come down. Good job, you guys. All right, before we go to the other side, we're going to do a little bit of tricep work, a little more tricep work. Please modify as you need. I'm going to be on my knees. We're going to do just a few tricep push-ups. So, I'm going to be here. I'm going to shift my weight forward. If you do leave your toes down, just make sure that you really squeeze in your glutes. Now, my favorite thing about tricep push-ups is they're very hard. They're a good challenge. Try to keep your hands as close together as possible. Sometimes we get wide and try to kind of push the elbows back. So it's more important that the elbows go back than you get low, right? Yes. All right, so I want you to feel like your ribs are in the way of your elbows. I want your elbows to brush against your ribs. So we're gonna go nice and slow. So squeeze the glutes, core is in. We're only gonna go for 5, okay? So here we go. You're gonna gently lower down for 5 and lift back up. Feet are down. Maybe you're only gonna go a centimeter and that's okay. I love Pilates because it's more about form and structure versus how hard or how fast you go. 3, 2 more. 2. Last one. The cats are starting to get tired. And go ahead and sit back. Good job, you guys. All right, we're going to switch the other side. So go ahead and flip around. Whatever side you haven't done yet for your sideline legs. We'll do the same exercise on this side. So same thing, if you have a mat, go ahead and line yourself up. If not, just kind of picture an imaginary line. You're going to line your booty up with that. You can drop your head. You're in the perfect spot for me to pet you. And then my legs are going to be a little bit to the front of my body so that I feel like I have control of my core. So we're going to start with our legs stacked, feet are flexed. Everything is going to be really still and held. You have our metal rod through our hip bones, if you will, so they're going to stay stacked. We're going to lift this top leg just about hip height. We're going to bring it to the front. It doesn't have to use this hand as much as you need. Make sure you're breathing. If your neck is really killing you too, you can always be down here. We're gonna do 2 more. 2, and last one. Now, hold it here. Try to make sure your hips are rolling forward or back. We're gonna do tiny pulses up to the ceiling for 10, 9, 8, 7, keep flexing, 6 toes towards your nose, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And lower it down. Good job, you guys. All right, we're gonna point our toes next. Knees are still pointed straight, so we're gonna stay in a parallel position. We're gonna lift our top leg to hip height. Remember, these circles are small, so if you feel too kind of loosey-goosey in the core, then just keep everything a little smaller. Here we go for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Reverse for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Now ready? We're gonna challenge ourselves. Yes, we are. We're gonna hold the leg up. We're gonna flex our foot. Yes, we are. And our bottom leg's gonna meet the top leg. And then it's gonna lower back down without hitting a kitty cat. And again, we lift, squeeze in our thighs, and lower. 4 more. Here's 4, and lower. 3, and lower. 2 more. 2, and lower. Last 1, and lower. Good job, you guys. All right, pound that butt knee out. Okay, moving on to clam. Hey, Sylvie. Are you gonna come help me? All right, so knees together, toes up towards the ceiling. Everything is stacked. We're gonna open our knee to the ceiling, and then we're gonna squeeze it closed. Oh, thank you. And we're gonna open. And Sylvie's telling me that I'm not gonna extend my knees any further. We're gonna keep it shorter for more of a challenge. 5, and squeeze. 4, and squeeze. 3, squeeze. 2 more. 2, squeeze. Good job, you guys. Last one. And squeeze. All right, good job, you guys. All right, before we do a little bit of stretching, I'm gonna challenge you guys to some planking, because those of you that know me know that I can't ever teach a class without doing at least a little bit of a plank. So, lots of modifications for a plank, right, guys? So many modifications. So, let's do easiest version first. You're gonna stay on your knees, and we're gonna drop down to our forearms to give our wrists a little bit of a break. So, again, elbows are down, your knees are underneath. So, a lot of people tend to release here, which is okay if it doesn't hurt your knees, but sometimes that actually puts pressure kind of in a weird spot in our knees. So also feel free to grab a pillow if you have one around you. If not, lift your legs, and you're just gonna hold here. And this is your plank. And we're gonna think about everything connecting our body. Or you can be here in full plank position on your forearms. And I can't come down because there's a cat, which is perfect. Or you can also be on your knees with full push-up position. Or you can be in full plank position. So it's totally up to you. So we're gonna do a 5-second countdown, and then we're gonna try to hold a 30-second plank. Feel free to switch it up. You can get fancy, you can modify, do whatever you need to do. Okay, are we ready, girls? Yes. All right, I'm gonna go on my forearms today. Ready? 3, 2, 1, and we hold. So again, tip of your head is long, neck is long. I always tell people, pretend like somebody's taking a picture from the ceiling, and that's how you want your neck to look the longest. You're pushing your shoulders away from your ears. Think about squeezing your glutes as hard as you can. Belly button pushing up into your spine. Think about the backs of your knees staying straight, maybe flexing into your heels. You can switch up your position. If you choose at any time, you can do a little walk shuffle to avoid putting your hands on cats. We're gonna hold for 10 more seconds. You can do it. 9, 8, 7, 6, keep breathing. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And come down. Good job, you guys. All right, let's do a little bit of stretching. So let's do a little bit of a lunge stretch. So feel free to kind of roll your mat over, or again, grab a pillow if you need. We're just going to extend our right leg out in front. Nice and easy, be gentle on your knee. This is whatever you need to do. And I just want you to try to think of your heel being a little bit further away from your knee. So instead of trying to be close here, see if you can maybe go a little bit wider. And maybe you won't go as far, but that's okay. So we're sitting up nice and tall. Think about opening your chest. Think about a gentle squeeze in your glutes. We're gonna hold here, try to bring the breath back down. We delved a little bit into everything today. I hope you guys had fun. We'll just stretch it out now. So go ahead and kind of gently twist away from the leg. Maybe pet your fur baby next to you. And then come back to center. You're going to gently twist away from the leg. You can use this thigh to kind of help a little bit. And then come back to center. Go ahead and place one hand on each side of your leg. And we're going to do a hamstring stretch. So, or you can do any type of split. I'll go with a modified stretch with you guys today. So, you're going to flex your toes towards your nose and try to relax your upper body as much as you can. So you have one hand on each side. You're going to shake out your head, try to release any neck tension. Feel free to kind of move that heel away from you. Like I said, you can go into any, all my dancers, you can go into your splits if you choose to. And then we're going to carefully come out of that stretch. We're going to go to the other side. Good job, you guys. So same thing, whatever leg you didn't do, if you need a pillow or some extra padding for your knee, just be careful. Extend your left leg out in front. Again, my left heel is going to stay far away from my right knee. So I'm going to try to go for that length of a stretch versus putting pressure into my right knee. You want to help me? And then I'm going to go into my lunge. Yeah. I'm going to sit up nice and tall. I'm going to open my chest. I'm going to breathe. I'm going to pet my kitties. And then I'm going to gently twist towards the leg first. So adding a little bit of a spiral. And then I'm going to twist away from the leg. And then same thing, guys, whatever version of your hamstring stretch you did on the other side, try to do the same here. So one hand on each side of the leg. I'm going to flex my toes towards my face. Relax your upper body. You can give your head another nice shake. You can kind of really flex, pull gently. We're going to hold for one more deep breath in through the nose, out through the mouth, and just relax. I hope that you guys had fun. This was definitely a fun experience for me. The cats are ready for their nap time, so they got their work in too, and they're very tired. Like I said, please feel free to like Papa's Cat Cafe on Facebook if you haven't already, but I'm assuming you're watching this, so you have Instagram. Check out their website. As soon as all of our local businesses open again, please feel free to stop by. We do have an observation area that's not in the room, so those of you that are allergic to cats can also come and enjoy coffee here, a treat. They have awesome pastries and awesome coffee. Please feel free to reach out to them or myself if you have any questions regarding the cafe or the class you saw today. Please feel free to like Boone County Animal Care on Facebook, on Instagram, all the social media. Go to our website. Again, if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask. This was a wonderful treat for me. Feel free to leave a small donation if you choose. Or if not, just take the time and come by whenever we reopen again. And I just really thank you guys for letting me do this, and I thank Papa's Cat Cafe and all the cats here. And like I said, just feel free to reach out if you have any questions. Thank you so much for having me. I'm gonna go take my cat nap now.